Hello and a warm welcome to Express Mobility. Today we have a special guest, Ms. Chun Woytera, Apac President, CNH Industrial. Today we will talk about the recently inaugurated India Technology Center and plans for India market. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
First of all, I would like to know your view on the agriculture sector in India and how do you see CNH growing in this market?
First, I think the first question is very easy to answer. It's vibrant and vast. Just think about the population in the world. Think about the macro trend everywhere is facing. I think the agriculture in India will continue to request mechanization, productivity, technology, which is all part of our vision establishing India Tech Center in the hub of this vibrant agriculture market. And our focus is really about customer-inspired innovation, which is, farm, regardless small or big, the farmer's challenge, whether it's with tractors, whether it's with agronomics, whether it's with productivities, their concerns are all our problems to solve.
Okay. What's your mid to long term vision for CNH industry in India? How do you want to see and what position do you want to take in the Indian market?
Grow. That's a very simple word.
Yeah.
But it's really, we have a very strong campaign of double market share and with sustainable growth. It's really about having our fair share, having our fair position in the marketplace of India. And at the general roundtable you already heard, one of our New Holland brands is recognized very iconic brands in the marketplace. And I think the CNH brand, which is represented by our harvesting equipment, and I think the stage is set and the heritage is strong. So I'm very much looking forward to strong, sustainable growth in this marketplace.
Okay. With your recently tech center announced, what is the core objective of this technology center from the global perspective as well as from the Indian perspective?
They're threefold, very easily described as India for India, India for the region, and India for the globe. India for India, it's very intuitive, right? It's the innovation for technology advancement for the Indian farmers and customers, farmer fleets. And India for the globe, India for the region is India for Asia Pacific, just because of the location, because of the talent pool, because of the value destination, this India Tech Center is going to play a big role in the product development for the region, and also extending this competency into the global product development world of CNH Industrial.
Okay. One of the core problems of India is a low mechanization level, and your penetration of tractors is also at a very minimum compared to China or Brazil when we see the comparable markets. But do you think you will get enough use cases to develop and innovate new products for India as well as for the global market, as you mentioned?
Yes, absolutely. While I cannot bring specific projects into the discussion, it's really going back to the customer problems we're trying to solve. It's using just using tractor as an example, right? You need to consider all the input cost, which is very, very price sensitive already in the marketplace, and you need to consider the reliability and the vast application that customers here in India will require the tractor to take on, which may be very different from other markets. So those are all the opportunities for us, for CNH Industrial, to not only to grow but to leapfrog using technology.
Okay. From global market leader lens, how do you see India? What are the strengths of this country and what are the weaknesses when you compare to other markets?
I'm still learning the markets, but I think my first few month impression is the part of the challenge is the committed policies, to support the farmers' needs, and also, and I think the technology, mechanization technology, is ready. It's ready for the pick for the marketplace, and I think it's the implementation of the mechanization policy into the ground of India. From just most recently, I read, more than half or less than, just a little less than half of the crop residue is still burned. So those are all the solutions that mechanized solutions are already ready to go. It just, I think it's the will of the policymakers and the will of the policymakers to support infrastructure development around it.
As we are talking about technology and technology center, and technology is like electrification, connected, shared, autonomous, is disrupting the auto market. And similarly, the same technology is being seen in the construction equipment as well as in the tractors. How do you view this, and what impact will it have in the Indian market as well as the APEC region? If you talk about what kind of new products you will probably bring in coming future.
I see the possibility of leapfrog.
Okay.
Leapfrog the mechanized Western countries, if we use that same reference, specifically because of the application and the requirements of the customers are different. So that's why, even though similar technology, when it comes to India, when it comes to solve India farmers' problems, may actually provide us completely new opportunities to leapfrog what has been in place in the Western world, in the developed world.
Okay, and is there any investment plan to grow your production capacity going
Yes.
forward in India? If you can give us the numbers.
We actually, beginning of this year, we already had vision. We're already putting in place expanding tractor capacity to 60,000, and I believe by end of 2023, we'll go after 75 or 70,000.
Okay, and is there any investment in line for this production capacity, to increase the production capacity?
Yes, investment is the capacity expansion will call for investment, but the proposal is already, I would say 60,000 is already done, and 75,000 is right in the progress of being proposed.
One last question. In last 3 years, it's more from the Indian context point of view. In last 3 years, tractor sales have grown drastically, and this year it's been plateauing. Do you think going forward how do you see next 2 to 3 years in terms of tractor sales in India?
I think in the macro trend perspective, I still see it's growing because of mechanization, but I do see certain adjustment, just like any market, right? You need adjustment period. When the emission changes, it will take some adjustments, and when input costs skyrocketed like nowadays, it will take adjustments. But in general, I do believe it's still a very vibrant, growing active industry.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.